This is episode 68. Kicking and drinking. Let's go. And that sound can mean one thing and one thing only. Welcome to another episode of Kicking and Drinking. I'm Eddie.
I'm Steven.
And this is episode 68. And just as you guys heard, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes is victorious at Hell in a Cell WWE. We just finished watching it, not the whole pay-per-view, but we watched most of it. And
the good stuff.
Although this isn't a full recap show of the whole Hell in a Cell, we don't got our brother Alex joining us. We will be talking about some of it. Among other things, we got some Obi-Wan Kenobi. We got some other stuff going on that we want to talk about. Steven had a trip recently that he wants to tell us about. And we got some beers. And speaking of beers, I know you got one here for us, which we just cracked open. Why don't you tell the people at home what are we drinking?
Okay, yeah, so we are drinking Three Dragons. It's a dragon fruit sour with strawberries and blueberries. And this one's coming from Fort Worth, Texas, over at the Martin House Brewing Company. Oh man, sorry about that.
I don't know. Is it brewing company or is it just
brewing company.
Okay. Yeah.
And I want to go ahead and thank Marcos Montes for supplying these two beers for us. Thank you, sir. We're gonna go ahead and feature these two. We're gonna give our intake on them. We've had plenty of Martin House on the show before. Some were really we highly recommended. Some were, it's kind of an acquired taste for some for others. Yeah. You know, I mean, we've had other beers from other breweries that have had an acquired taste as well, like the one from Independence with the blueberries in it.
Oh yeah. And then the Independence they have those Berleweisens that are like cucumber and all this stuff. But
yeah,
cheers.
So this one should be interesting. Ooh, that one's actually pretty good. I actually digging this one. And you know me, especially during the hot summertime, I'm a sour guy, so this is definitely something really refreshing. From what my understanding is that this is only a beer that unfortunately you could only get at the tap room in Fort Worth, Texas.
Exclusive, and we got it here on the show.
Exclusive right here. Dude, so I love this fucking.
Yeah, the artwork on this can, the samurais are insane.
Dude, I want to see if Slim Zink can tat that on me there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah. So yeah, like Steven said, that this beer, you can only find it at the brewery. But you were given 2 samples to feature on the show because you were attended a very special event at Bandera Brewery this past weekend. I think it was a 2-day event. You went yesterday, which was as the time of this recording. Yesterday was Saturday, June 4th.
Today being Sunday, which was the second day of the event.
The event is an event that a bunch of breweries got together to raise funds for the Robb Elementary School Memorial Fund. Unfortunately, everything that happened, it's hit really close to home. Us, we both have children, and it made it the impact that this thing has had on us.
We have family members that had friends and family that were there. And, how it impacted them as well, too. So, it
was nice to see how many breweries and how many
small businesses and local musician artists and stuff like that.
Because initially, like, when they announced it, it wasn't, I mean, it was a pretty decent list. It wasn't as long as it got to the
day before.
It was jam-packed. Like, there was breweries, and then, again, small businesses. So, how was it, man? I mean...
It was really good. It was really fun. It was good to see everybody out there for the support. Out there for Uvalde. They had T-shirts and stuff there. Uvalde strong. All the proceeds we're gonna go 100% to like Eddie said, to Robb Elementary's Memorial Fund. So it was good to see all the people out there. It was pretty much, you just go in, purchase your tickets, and then you just go and you get like pretty much like a 10-ounce pour. So you know, it was pretty good. There was breweries from all over the place. We had breweries from Austin, Fort Worth, from here in San Antonio, Kingsville, you know, just like pretty much everywhere. I mean, there was just a lot of, you know, it was good to see some people out there too. I saw JD, Texas Beer Dude.
Shout out.
And then JD from Texas Beer Co.
Shout out. Yeah. I know you text me, you're like, oh, JD is here. And then, oh, JD is here too. I'm like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, so were there any beers that you hadn't tried that you were able to try there?
Yeah, Martin House had a couple that I tried. One was pretty strong, which is why he said, you know, I'm only giving you a 2-ounce pour because it's a very strong beer. And sure enough, you drink it. Oh man, it was pretty strong. And then there was one that we tried from Rome Free Brewing, and I forgot where they're from, but they had a really good one, a mango wheat beer.
From Bernie, I think.
I think so, yeah. Maybe, but
ooh, a mango wheat.
Yeah, mango wheat. It was really good, really refreshing. And then of course Viva from here in San Antonio were there. They had their Bock beer, which, you know, we've had on the show, which is really good.
Bock, right?
No, yes, yeah. And then Flix was there, the movie theater, but the guys from San Antonio were there because Flix is also, I believe, in Austin and a few other places here in Texas, but definitely from Austin. So they were there, and then they had a IPA and a Maibach, and oh man, that Maibach was delicious.
Yeah.
They didn't really go into any IPAs there. Everybody was definitely had IPAs there, but didn't go into those. It was a little too hot for that, and I was just like, nah, I need to stick it with some refreshing stuff. So
yeah, I get that. Yeah, it has been hot here in Central South Texas, or Texas in general, I guess. It's been really hot, but
into 3 digits, yo.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm super glad, you know.
Got this shirt there too. Says
that's a nice shirt.
Drink local.
That's a nice shirt.
I believe the company is called
that's a nice boater.
Beer Guardian. But I'll put it on the info for the episode and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that you were there to at least represent, you know, our podcast. You know, if you follow us on Instagram, you still see him posted a video up there, and you know, so unfortunately I couldn't make it. I had to work, but I mean, I'm so glad that you got to go there. But before that, excuse me, you actually visited a brewery in Fredericksburg.
2 breweries in Fredericksburg.
Oh, 2? All right. So I know one of them was Allstat.
Yeah. So the first one I went to was where we had lunch in. We had lunch there was Fredericksburg Brewing Co., which is on their main strip. It was, you know, a nice little place. You know, really good service, really good staff. The food was freaking delicious. For dinner that same night, we went to Allstat Brewing, and oh my God, that place is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I love going to Shiner because Shiner is a really wonderful brewery. I love the environment there. It was like pretty much the same thing here at Allstat, but only the fact that they actually served food and the beers. You know, of course, the beers were, you know, at least like $6 for a full pour. You know, which is still not bad. You know. And, you know, you could buy beer to go, so we bought a 6-pack to go from there as well. But the food was on point there, I can tell you what.
And you can't go wrong with Allstat's beer. Their lager is just...
Their lager and their
so
amber.
Good, yeah, so good. I mean, it's...
The only one I was a little disappointed I didn't get to try was the Bock. They had a Bock there.
Bock?
Yeah, but it's only served there at the brewery.
Okay.
I don't think they can it.
Yeah.
And another thing too with Allstat, if you never had it, they have a really wonderful Oktoberfest when that comes in the season.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. So I mean, I'm glad you had a good weekend. I mean, and
then another thing too, I want to also give a shout out to Dos Llanos because
I was about to bring that up.
Me and my wife did celebrate our 10-year anniversary, and we were lucky enough to have Dos Llanos let us host our little ceremony there. It was a small ceremony, but, you know, really, glad that they were able to let us do that. We did a little ceremony with our friend Bobby from Alamo Baptist Church. He renewed our vows for us. Instead of saying "I do," we were just saying "we do" again. And then after that, we enjoyed some really delicious food from Dos Llanos, and we also had some really good beers there too. So thanks to Carrie and everybody, Aaron at Dos Llanos, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure,
we
for
love
sure.
you guys.
So man, you've had a pretty good, pretty busy, fun weekend. Lots of beer, lots of beer. Nothing wrong with that. And you saw Top Gun. You saw Top Gun Maverick,
and I saw Top Gun.
Yeah, I mean, I was supposed to go, but things didn't work out for me. So you went for us, and I hear it's a good movie. I'm not the biggest Top Gun fan. I've never seen the movie, but I until recently, I watched the original recently, and it's fine. It's a fine movie. It's not
so 80s. Definitely 80s.
It's definitely 80s. It's everybody jokes around that movie has no plot, which it really doesn't.
The first one didn't.
But I hear that the second one
definitely has a plot to it.
A plot that the fight scene, I mean the dog fights are amazing. And I hear it's just a good movie, just a good movie. Speaking of which,
there were definitely some cheesy parts in it, but overall, I really enjoyed the movie. It was very entertaining. I was a little skeptical going into it how it was going to be because I am a fan of the original Top Gun. Born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, partied in the 2000s, but so I got to see a lot of things, and Top Gun was always one of my favorites as a kid. Oh man, this is awesome, and for them to do one years later, it's ooh, see how that goes.
So I mean, the news just came out that this is the second weekend Top Gun Maverick has been in theaters, and usually it's by second weekend, the box office drops pretty deep, but this one had a slight drop, and it's already reached 500 million worldwide. So
I think this is Tom Cruise's first $100 million debut, or something like that.
Yeah. It's breaking
one of his movies.
It's breaking lots of records. I mean, congrats to Tom Cruise, I guess. I mean, not that he needs it, but I mean, hey, I'm hearing.
Well, congrats to all the other actors in there.
Yeah.
Miles Teller. I mean, it was also good to see Val Kilmer in there. Jennifer Connelly. I was surprised Jennifer Connelly was in there.
I know in the trailer they showed a picture of Val Kilmer, and for those of you who don't know, I mean, Val Kilmer in real life does suffer from I think throat cancer.
Which he had surgery.
I think he has a tracheotomy. I think that's what it's called. So he can't speak. There's an amazing documentary on Amazon. On Prime Video. Prime. It's called Val, and it pretty much follows Val Kilmer, throughout his career, and they have his son actually narrating because his son sounds exactly like him. So anyway, in the trailer for this movie, I know they showed a picture of him. I loved him in the first one. He was, he was amazing. So, over the weekend, I'm listening to podcasts and people are talking about Maverick, and one of my friends oh yeah, I mean, I teared up at Val Kilmer. I'm oh, come on. I was just well, I mean, is that really a spoiler? I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler. I mean, granted, I didn't know if he was going to show up, but I kind of was hoping he did. So that the fact that he did show up, I was okay, that's cool.
I don't want to say that definitely was a spoiler or not, because there was, going to be, well, is he in it? Is he not in it? Because like you said in the trailer, they did show his picture and mention him. Mm-hmm. But to say that, oh, it was good to see him, and then for you to say oh, that was spoiled for me, I was no, I don't really think so. But the scene between him and Tom Cruise is just really, really good. It's just really emotional, really touching.
That's what I hear, man.
And not only just because of the chemistry between them, but because of knowing that the illness that Val Kilmer suffers through is played into this movie, and it really hurts, and especially this may be a little bit of spoiler. The conversation first begins between him and Tom. He's typing everything out, and then until finally he starts talking, and oh my gosh, it's just so heartbreaking. Hearing him talk, and in my mind, I'm just thinking of all these movies he was in, Real Genius.
Doors.
Obviously,
Batman,
Top Gun, and then him playing Batman. Heat, all these good movies that he was in, and it's just like, man, like he just really like it really impacted him a lot.
But even that documentary, man, like it was pretty rough to watch. But I'm glad that he's still, like. Val Kilmer's a legend. He's a legend. So I'm glad that he's able to come back in this movie. I'm glad that this movie's doing good in general, and I'm glad you got to see it. I'll see it eventually. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's a Marvel or Star Wars movie. I'm fine with waiting. I was a little bummed out. Couldn't see it.
He was also in one of my other favorite movies that they're making a sequel to, Willow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Willow. Yeah. Oh, and he was also in MacGruber. But yeah, man. So again, I'll see when it comes out. But so moving on. You guys heard in the intro, we just finished watching WWE Hell in a Cell. We didn't watch the whole thing. I know you watched maybe like the last two matches. The last match was the only Hell in a Cell match, was between Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Which I have to say, I think the match was a little underwhelming, but. Going into the match, it was reported that Cody Rhodes suffered a injury, and even in the pay-per-view, he takes off his jacket, and a major bruise just all over here. And
on his right side.
I could imagine that the match had to be adjusted a little bit because of that injury, but just the fact that he went out there and performed. Again, the match wasn't bad. Yeah, it was a little underwhelming, but it was still really good, considered the circumstances. Him with the injury. I enjoyed the match. The only other matches I watched were Mustafa Ali versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. I watched Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin.
Saw half of that one.
No holds barred match. And I saw Judgment Day, which is Edge, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley versus AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan. That one was pretty good. So but I don't know with these WWE lately, dude. It's just like, how are you gonna have? First of all, like, I've never really been a fan of these like pay-per-view, like Hell in a Cell pay-per-view or Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, because back when we used to watch it, when these structures were like they were like once in every so often type of thing, and when they were like when those matches were announced and they were they were matches, they were big, epic. So just the fact that like we have a whole pay-per-view that's Hell in a Cell, and you get a Hell in a Cell match, you get a Hell in a Cell match. So like I've never been a fan of that. So
Money in the Bank was always one too.
Yeah,
that was during a pay-per-view and not its own pay-per-view.
Yeah, and it was always like kind of during like WrestleMania.
Yeah, and
like
it's like now there's all these Money in the Banks. Money in the Banks for tag teams. Money in the Banks for
and like,
Universal.
And like I was saying earlier, like I think last year it was Nikki for the women's Money in the Bank. Nikki Ash won. And she cashed it in. She became the women's champion for like 2 weeks, and then that was it. Like that was it. And then now she's not even on TV no more. So it's just like, does this stuff even mean anything anymore? I think there's only 2 championship belts in this whole card, this whole pay-per-view card that were being defended, which was the United States Championship and the Women's Championship between Asuka, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair. I don't know who won that one. I just know Becky Lynch didn't win.
I think Bianca won.
And good for her, but
she retained.
It's just like, what are we doing? Like, they spent a whole damn year building up Roman Reigns, and gave him this whole main event to be the what do you call it? He's holding both belts, and he's not even defending, not even one of them. So it's just like, come on, like, what are we doing? It's so underwhelming. The booking is terrible. But that said, like I said, this the Seth Rollins Cody Rhodes match, it had the potential to be really great. Unfortunately, like I said, because of his injury, it wasn't all that. It was a little underwhelming, but it was still pretty good. Pay-per-view as a whole was kind of a letdown. As far as from what I saw, it was kind of a letdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally agree. Totally gonna agree with you there. There's just too many storylines now. I remember it was like, when you had like groups, that had combined storylines, and then, they all kind of defended their, whatever titles they had,
yeah.
Like DX, when you had the Outlaws, the Outlaws that were the tag team champions. X-Pac was like the U.S. champion or the Intercontinental champion.
Or like European.
Or European. Triple H, the world champion, and all of them kind of defending against other wrestlers, like The Rock, Stone Cold, the Brothers of Destruction, and
well,
stuff
even in the Ruthless Aggression era, you had Evolution. Triple H was the world heavyweight. You had Randy Orton Intercontinental. You had Batista and Ric Flair as the tag team champions. So like they were all kind of like that. Awesome. Like I love it, but it's just like
which is like what they're kind of doing against now with the family. But it's like even then, like they're like they bring in like all these old wrestlers to try to take down Roman Reigns, and then they don't accomplish it, and then they just like boom, okay, we're done with that story.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, I remember like if Triple H lost against Stone Cold, they were going at it still, boom, 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 and then they would be the triple threat match. With Stone Cold, The Rock, and Triple H,
Yeah.
And then, of course, there would be a few other stuff going on, too, where, that's when the Elimination Chamber started developing and all this stuff, the rivalry between Mankind and Undertaker, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Epic, So, again, like, we watched wrestling back when we were younger. We both fell off. We kind of separate out in and out of it. Lately we've just kind of been more little.
Look at it now. Again, going back to Roman Reigns, it's like who I've kind of already forgotten who's he's already fought it's already been kind of forgotten. Like I totally forgot he fought John Cena and John Cena lost.
John Cena came back and he lost, and Goldberg came back. He lost.
Got hurt.
Yeah,
twice.
Yeah, so it's just like, and I think kind of like what they're doing, at least what I hope they're doing, they're building up Cody Rhodes to eventually go for that championship. And, I'm hoping that, like, they don't just, like, have Roman Reigns steamroll over him, which, it's just, that just seems like that's their cop-out. Like, oh, we're going to have Roman Reigns, we're going to have the Usos come and help him out, and he's going to win, and just that, and he's, like, the head of the table, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, I don't believe it. Like, I don't believe it.
And then there's speculation. Remember, I showed this to you, too. Because I watch Young Rock, and there was an episode in season 2 where they feature a kid actor playing Roman Reigns. He goes, "Oh, that was my kid cousin. You would come to know him as Roman Reigns." So many.
And that stupid little kid's all acknowledge me.
Yeah, he's all acknowledge me, and then he's telling the Young Rock like, "Do this move to me," and he goes, and it seemed like a hint. It was like, no, that seems more like a WrestleMania type of event. And then it's like, is that a little hint or something going on there? And then I was reading another interview or another article. Right now, The Rock's schedule is pretty clear. Yeah. So there may be, something going on there too. So
yeah,
we'll see what's going on.
Might be training.
Yeah.
But yeah, so moving on from wrestling, it was fine, whatever. But moving on from there, dude. Okay, so when we first started this podcast, our YouTube channel, one of our first episode was.
I just want to say, dude, this is freaking delicious. I wish we had another one.
It's good. It's coming at 7%. So, whew. But what's it called? Like when one of our first episode, our very first episode was streamers. We titled it, I think, Streamers. It was basically me, you, and Matt talking about the future of streaming, because back then we didn't have everything we have now. I think back then we didn't even have Disney Plus back then.
No, Disney Plus, HBO, even the DC Universe they were all coming out with their own apps. The only thing we had was
DC Universe.
The only thing we had at the time that were like the three bigs were Netflix was the first one, Hulu was getting there, and Prime.
Yeah, Prime. Yeah. So, and the reason I bring this up is because earlier, I noticed you're catching up on Stranger Things. Stranger Things 4 dropped
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
A week or two ago.
Yeah. So it dropped, recently. I haven't. After season 2, I haven't watched season 3. Whatever. I know you're catching up. So while you're watching that, I was in my room and I started The Boys on Prime Video.
So much going on.
Season 3 just dropped, and I remember I started watching episode 1. It's, I'm not going to spoil anything, but not even 10 minutes into the first episode of season 3, shit like.
Dude, I hear he's gonna fucking
just like the weirdest shit. I'm just like, what? Like, so, and I come up to him like, have you started watching anybody? He's like, no, there's just so much. I'm like, that. So I'm just like, that's why I bring this up. Like, there's just so much now. Like,
well, because like for me too, like you said, I'm catching up on Stranger Things. I mean, I really didn't need to, but I just wanted to.
Yeah, I get that.
I probably should have just started off with just season 3 because I've seen season 1 and 2 like so many times. Like I kind of remember where at the point I just kind of wasn't paying attention to certain things. So I was like, oh yeah, I already know what goes on. Season 3, I should have watched it again because I only think I've only seen it just the one time. So I probably should just start off with season 3. But then, we also got AMC Plus where. The last season for Better Call Saul came out, so I started catching up on that because I fell off after the second or third season, and so I definitely hadn't watched the 4th and 5th season. Oh my god, dude, it's so fucking amazing.
So that's on that's on AMC Plus is where you're watching Better Call Saul.
Well, I was watching the old episodes commercial free on Netflix, and then season 6 is on AMC Plus, but they do commercials. But I'm caught up now, so now not fully caught up, but I'm caught up to at the point where I can start watching season 6.
Yeah.
Like you said, The Boys came out. What else has been out?
Halo on Paramount Plus.
Well, that's already finished, so I would kind of caught up on that.
I'm just trying to think in terms of like, cause like again, like back then we only had 3. Now, I mean. Stranger Things is still on Netflix, and to be honest, I mean Netflix is kind of taking a dramatic drop as far as like their subscriptions and like people like and they're trying to raise their prices and other stuff and and they're still sticking to the whole drop everything at once, binge it, which in my opinion is granted I know that's their thing, that's what they do, but in my opinion it's just like when you do that, people binge this stuff and it's easily forgotten about.
Yeah,
really fast.
I forgot season 3, so that's why I said maybe I should just start off with season 3.
So then you have that. I'm trying to think. Okay, like for instance, and now we got all this new stuff. Paramount Plus. Again, Halo was one of those on there. I started and I'm slowly kind of like starting. I've started it. I'm on episode 2. I got to get back into it. Is The Offer, which I remember you showed me the trailer way back, which is the story of how The Godfather was made. Peacock, which is NBC's streaming app. They have a lot of good shows on there. I know one of the shows we watched was Bel Air. HBO Max. You got Barry right now, season 3. Barry.
That's another one. Yeah, there's another one. I'm gonna catch up on Barry, and then right now I'm in the middle of Young Justice, the 4th season. And then the new Fantastic Beasts: Secrets of Dumbledore just dropped on there too. Yeah. So I need to watch that. Yeah. It's like fuck.
And then Apple TV Plus. Dude. So I'm like,
something else just dropped a trailer a while back to. Maybe not a trailer, but I think they've been showing some footages or set footage for the new Lord of the Rings. So that's a new thing that's gonna be coming out on Prime.
That's Prime, and then even House of the Dragon.
Which is gonna
be on HBO Max pretty soon.
The Game of Thrones spinoff on HBO Max.
So like. Are we getting a little oversaturated now?
I even just stumbled upon this other show called Minx that has Jake Johnson in it from New Girl.
Yeah,
and I mean it's kind of like about how like they started the first female magazine for like 4 females featuring.
Oh, okay, like Playgirl kind of?
Yeah, like nude men.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this shit was good. It was funny, but it was just like, I got into it, so I was like, I was watching it. But luckily, all the episodes were there, and like I finished that. And like, there's just so many stuff, like, you just stumble upon. Like, I never really been into Star Trek, but then, like, every time I finished an episode of Halo, it would always go to Picard, and I was like, oh shit, this is kind of like looks interesting, but it's like I know nothing about it, so it's like,
and then of course we have Disney Plus, and right now the big thing that everybody's talking about is Obi-Wan Kenobi,
dude.
So I mean, like there's just so much, man. Like there's so much, and it's wild. Like I remember back then, like people were like, oh yeah, I got cable. I'm gonna cancel my cable because it's cheaper to get these streaming services. I don't know. on. I mean, it's going to add up with all these, you know? Like, it's wild, man.
I mean,
like,
you could do the bundle with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for $12, $13, but then, you know, if you don't do it sooner, then once prices go up, you're not grandfathered in.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm trying to think of what Hulu has out. I know the last thing I think I watched on Hulu was what was that show?
There's Jennifer Beal. It's a little mini series about that she came out in, and it's got Justin Timberlake that you know, her husband that also plays a cop, but he's got like a little porn stash. It's freaking hilarious. It's supposed to be a serious show, but it's just the way he looks and him portraying this cop is like, I just can't. Sometimes it's just silly. But, what was that one called?
I'm trying to think of the
Cake.
I'm trying to think of the one that I watched with Michael Keaton, where he's a doctor about the.
Oh yeah. We just saw that one too. Man, what is that one?
I know, right? Jeez. But yeah, man, it's just like there's a lot, like,
sick,
you know,
sick something or something.
Oh
sick.
yeah, you're right. Dope sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good show.
That was a good one.
That was
man.
good. Like man, like and like I love when like streaming services like that, like Dope Sick on Hulu, like just kind of like they're not talked about, but they're really good. Bel Air, you know, I mean, like. I didn't watch any trailers leading up to Bel Air. Like, I remember hearing about it, and I even told you, I'm like, this sounds stupid. Like, why are they gonna make a dramatic take of French Prince? One day, me and my girlfriend started watching it, and we were just like, this is actually pretty good. Like, it's dramatic as hell.
The first time I found out about Bel Air is when SNL was making fun of it, saying from the studio that's bringing the remake of Will Smith's Fresh Prince of Bel Air called Bel Air Comes Urkel, and it's supposed to be like a serious take of serious take of Family Matters.
What?
And it's like
What? Bro,
and then I was like, wait, is this for real? Like, I knew the skit, I knew the Family Matters thing was a skit, but I was like, is this for real about Bel Air though? So I looked it up. I was like, oh shit, sure enough.
Oh, that is funny.
And I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna watch this. This is dumb. And then like, I don't know why, I just turned it on, started watching it, and me and my wife just like got into it.
It was good. It was good. It was good. Like, I mean, it's dramatic as hell. Like, it's super over dramatic, but it's good. You know, whatever. But yeah, man, there is a lot of stuff to watch. There's not a shortage. Speaking of which, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness dropping on Disney Plus June 22nd.
Jeez, that's quick, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to get on and watching it again.
We had to wait like a whole year for it to come out on VHS.
VHS. Last episode we had last episode we had Ernest on.
No, it was just us two.
Was it us two?
That's it.
You sure? Oh yeah, it was just us two.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We talked about Obi-Wan.
We did?
Yeah, first 2 episodes.
Ernest was here.
Was it? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, you know, since then we've gotten episode 3 of Obi-Wan.
Because we did
you're right.
We did episode 66 with Ernest, and
that was Doctor Strange.
And then we were like, oh man, episode 66 would have gone better with the Obi-Wan conversation because of Order 66.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would have been perfect, especially because the way Obi-Wan started off. Like, come on, bro, what are we doing? But episode 3, Obi-Wan, man, and
boy, was it a doozy.
My God, you know, like I'm blown away. I'm blown away. We got episode 3, and I remember I woke up that morning, and I heard you watching TV, so I thought you were watching it.
I was.
Oh, episode 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're watching it already. So I was like, okay, you know, he's watching it. I'm not gonna go over there. You know, like I wanna watch it fresh. So what I did is I connected my TV to my headphones, and I sat in my bed and watched it. And I remember you texted me. You were like, "You okay, nigga?" Because all you hear is, "Oh, what? Oh!" It's just like,
"Oh."
I was like, "What?" Like
they're just like, "What the fuck?"
Like,
it's like I was like, "Are you okay in there?" And I was like knocking, and I didn't know it. So I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go to work." And
I had my headphones on. I was tuned in, and I mean, it's Obi-Wan episode 3, Disney Plus. If you're not watching it, you're gonna get spoiled because I mean,
we're only getting 6 episodes of this.
yeah, man, and that's the thing
We're
too.
halfway.
That's the thing too. Like I know we talked about I think last episode. Like this whole 6 episode thing is just like like for me, it I don't like it.
It's gonna go one or two ways. And I said there's potential for them to do one more season, but thinking about it, it could also even go into a possible movie.
Yeah, true. But yeah, man, this episode, I mean, starts off. I mean, obviously the episode 2 ends with we get that shot of Hayden Christensen in the back Bangta tank, and Darth Vader. So we knew right away, like, oh, in the next episode we're gonna get Darth Vader. And sure enough, episode starts off with Darth Vader.
I didn't think we were gonna get that much Darth Vader.
I didn't think we were gonna get that much either. Like, I didn't think we were gonna get the confrontation with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader for at least maybe episode 4. At least the fact that we got it in episode 3. Not only that we got it, but dude, like he kicked some ass. Not only that, but like Darth Vader like has never been scarier.
Oh yeah.
And just like okay, let's just get into it.
Even my son was just like, what? Like, oh my god, like. Darth Vader is mean.
Yeah, he's a mean guy.
He's a bad man.
So yeah, I mean, episode starts off. It's Obi-Wan pretty much. He's just like kind of like, like just in shock, pretty much. Reva, played by Moses Ingram. Which, by the way, I mean, guys, come on, like, give the girl a break. I mean, if you're out there posting your, writing her, posting like nasty comments, you're not a fucking fan, and you need to get out here like ASAP. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on, this girl is giving it her all in the show. And actually, I didn't know that Moses Ingram, she was the girl from Queen's Gambit.
I never seen that one.
Oh, you know? Oh, it's a good show. It's a good show.
I heard that one's good too. That's another one. Too many shows.
But yeah, man. I mean, granted, like I know, because I obviously listen to a lot of podcasts that do reviews, and they review episodes, weekly. Going to introduce your beer. This is a good one.
All right, so the next one I'm about to open up here is from Four Corners Brewing, also in Fort Worth, right?
Yeah, Dallas. Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas or Fort Worth, Texas. One of the two. But this one I actually saw there is Mango Fresca, Mango Ale. So
I've actually had this one.
I love their cans too, dude. Their cans are amazing as well.
I saw your buttons that you got.
Yeah.
So
this one actually looks like it's a sticker on it. I don't know. Anyways, their cans look amazing. I mean, even Martin House cans always look amazing as well.
This past Memorial Day weekend, Memorial Day Monday, we took a trip up to Paradise Canyon here in Texas, and I actually bought a 6-pack of this. Perfect. That was really good. I know you're going to enjoy it.
So these are going to be like really good summer beers. If you're up in Fort Worth and have an opportunity to visit Martin House, I definitely suggest getting the Three Dragons. That's a real good one. I'm about to try this one, which Eddie says is really good, and I believe him, so I'm about to try it.
Yeah. But again, guys, I mean,
Oh, yeah. Definitely refreshing. And this one's only coming out at 5%, so, you're not going to get...
Easy to drink.
Yeah, super easy to drink.
I listen to all the reviews, and, a lot of people, they didn't necessarily like the character of Reva. They kind of felt like she was kind of like just like
dry
and just like, why are you so angry? Like what is your like why? Like what's your drive to be that angry?
I'm probably maybe one of the few, but I like it. I loved it, and I love the anger because I want to know like what is she so angry about? But it's so good.
There is speculation that she is because obviously we do not. I think we even covered it in the last episode. I mean, Inquisitors, they for the most part are ex-Jedi. They're not Sith. They're ex-Jedi that were probably hunted down during Order 66, and kind of either given an option: you're either gonna die or you're gonna work for us and hunt down other Jedi. They're pretty much just like they're hunting down Jedi. They're not Sith, but they tamper with the dark side.
And some of the ones too that look like the white, like the Grand Inquisitor, were temple guards as well.
Yeah, but he's not dead. He's not dead. He's coming back.
He's gonna come.
But there has been speculation that like Reva's character is one of the children that escaped from the Jedi Academy in the first episode. Because there's already been speculation, even when the trailer first came out, before we even got the show, that like, because Star Wars does have this thing where they try to redeem their bad guys. Example Kylo Ren.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, yes, exactly. They have a formula that they kind of follow. But so that's been speculation that she's gonna turn, and in this episode, I think we got like confirmation that like she's gonna do a turn, because there is a part where like she finds a hidden room that the Jedi use called the Path, and you see it in her eyes, like there's something there.
Yeah,
we're not getting it yet, but there's something there. But yeah, I mean, I think she's doing an amazing job.
Especially when she sees the symbol.
Yes, exactly.
You can tell like
she gets angry,
like hitting her and getting her angry at the same time.
If I may, I wanna kind of like throw out there, what do you want to call it? A speculation, if you will. This is what I think might happen.
A fan theory,
yeah, exactly. I think she's gonna turn. I think she's gonna, eventually be, turn. She's for whatever reason.
She's gonna find her way back to the light side.
I don't think she's gonna make it out of the show alive. I think that the Grand Inquisitor that she did, stab, is gonna come back and it's gonna kill her, because this same Grand Inquisitor, I think it's the same one from the Rebels show.
That's what I did read, and I was saying like, no, it can't be. Maybe like once one dies, another one becomes a Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, so everybody's like, what's going on?
But supposedly you were right that it is the same Grand Inquisitor from Rebels.
I'm gonna grab one of the same ones because these are so good. Actually, that's a little theory I have, but so yeah. Anyway, ending of episode 2, Reva tells Obi-Wan that he's alive. Darth Vader's alive. Anakin is alive, and he's hunting you. So amazing, this is what I wanted from this show. I wanted, to feel Obi-Wan, come to terms with the fact that his ex-Padawan is alive. The guy that he thought he killed and left on the planet is alive. And dude, I just love
thinking about it, dude. Was that kind of harsh on Obi-Wan,
leaving him
there to die suffering rather than just putting him out of his misery?
A lot of people are saying it is. Yeah, a lot of people say that it is.
It's no wonder he's pissed off at Obi-Wan. I would be pissed off. You did this.
Yeah, dude. Oh, he's just like, whatever.
I am what you made.
And not only that, but it's just like I was watching a video earlier, and they were talking about Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, and they're like, the last time Obi-Wan saw Anakin, obviously he was cut in half, burnt, whatever. He doesn't know what Darth Vader looks like. He doesn't. Yeah, he knows that Anakin is Vader because he saw the hologram, of Palpatine calling him Vader or whatever. So he knows that Vader, whatever. He doesn't know what he looks like. Darth Vader's not on Instagram posting pictures of himself,
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he looks like. So the fact that he could sense him, and he sees him, and it's scary. It's scary, terrifying.
And I think for the first few years, he kind of keeps a low profile of who he is and what he is to the Empire.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's on Mustafar, getting his baths, and hanging out with the lava. So when that scene, dude, that scene was just pure genius. He senses him. Darth Vader's coming. I was just like, once you see the shadow, and not only that, we see the Inquisitors. Especially Reva, who being such a loose cannon, and she's kind of scared. They all look kind of scared, intimidated, which they should be. It's Vader, and they show you why they should be intimidated, because this dude walks around, and just like the Grand Inquisitor said, the Jedi will review themselves. Yeah, will show themselves. Because that's in their that's in their
Character.
in character to help. So what does Darth Vader do? He starts choking people, killing a kid, dragging this woman across the floor, killing like what? Like what? Like I know we got a little bit Darth Vader in Rogue One.
Granted, the kid was at least like 18. Okay?
Yeah. But he said
he wasn't a little kid.
Yeah. I mean, he snaps his neck.
Yeah, he's like,
dude. Like,
dude, I was like, whoa.
That's why I was like, whoa, what? Like,
but then, still, the one part that got me is like when he's dragging the girl, and then he's like getting ready to force grab somebody else, and that's when like Obi-Wan's in the alley, and then he just like does that turn. I'm like, oh shit,
dude, that was wild. Like,
that was like almost like a scary movie,
like
thing.
a Michael Myers. Michael Myers. He's Darth Vader is literally the Michael Myers of Star Wars. You know, like, and it's terrifying. Like, I know we got
like Darth Vader doesn't need to run, dude.
No, he doesn't.
He just shows up.
And not only that, dude. I mean, but we got to talk about the voice. The voice. A lot of people are praising the voice because obviously, again.
Oh, that show with.
Oh my god. Obviously, in Rogue One, you know, we got Darth Vader, and we got James Earl Jones coming back to do the voice. But James Earl Jones is not the same age he was back in '70. You know, in the '70s when he first did the voice. So obviously, in Rogue One, you could hear the age in his voice. Like it just sounded, older. In this one, he sounds exactly the way he sounded in A New Hope. Like,
I mean, I'm sure they did some alterations and stuff.
And I'm glad they did. I'm so glad they did.
Yeah.
Do you think? And I really hope that it is. Do you think that it's Hayden Christensen in the suit?
Supposedly it's supposed to be.
Supposedly it is.
I really hope it is.
I really hope it is because I don't know. There's something about the way he walks, and the way he carries himself. I just feel like that's Anakin. I feel like it. Like it's giving me such like these vibes. We did get a little glimpse of a little vision of Anakin outside the suit, you know, in a hood, you know, like kind of like an older, you know, vision, you know, because that's the way Obi-Wan remembers him. Yeah. Again, he doesn't know what Darth Vader looks like. But yeah, man, terrifying, like terrifying. And not only that, but like, I mean, I know we jumped like a lot of the majority of the show, but we'll get to it. But like, this Darth Vader thing, you just can't not talk about it because, like, he's stalking him in the shadows. This one shot. Obi-Wan's like walking, and he looks into the dark, and it's just dark, and all you see is the little lights, and he's just walking. And you can't even hear the breeze, just walk. I'm just like, that is scary. Like that's scary. Like,
I mean, dude, what about? I mean, the first time when he actually sees him, I mean, you just see like this like black kind of like shadow. You know, you think it's like a
like a pole,
no, not like a pole, but like because he goes where there's like these mounds of rocks, like these mounds of rocks. So you think like, oh, it's just like a shot of the side of a mountain of rock, and then you see Obi-Wan coming around, and then all of a sudden this lightsaber. Like, oh.
You know what? And when I first saw that, and again rewatching, I'm like, that would have been a cool like shot to show in the trailer, but I'm glad they didn't. Yeah, I'm so glad they didn't.
See, and that's exactly what I'm so glad that Obi-Wan did not show a lot of everything. The most that we got of Darth Vader in the trailer was just the
breathing.
When the Disney Plus sign goes over like that.
Yeah,
that was it.
But yeah, that shot we just like nice lightsaber, and then at that too, like Obi-Wan, you know, like again, this is Obi-Wan. 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. He's cut off from the Force. He doesn't want any part of it. He doesn't want to be found. He didn't even want to go after Leia, but he went because, you know, Bella kind of like back against the wall or whatever. So he's not in fighting form. You know, he even says
in training.
He's like, I'm not the guy I used to be. So when Darth Vader lights the lightsaber, you're like, he's like, you know, you would think, oh, Obi-Wan's gonna get the lightsaber and light it. No, he's just like
he gets it.
He gets it, but he's like, and he runs away. And I love that he's like he's like running around kind of scared, and he hears Darth Vader, you can't run, Obi-Wan, and he just like he out of fear he ignites it. But that shot when he ignites it is amazing. Oh, this show is so good.
And this is exactly the stuff I was hearing.
like I don't know.
Oh, what? No.
And then again, he sees him. He goes, you know, what have you become? And I am what you made me. Like, oh, like, and you just feel the anger, you know, in the line that he says. And dude, again, like I know you said like you weren't expecting to get that much Vader. We got a lot more than what we thought we were gonna get, because not only do they have a confrontation, they start fighting with the lightsabers.
If anything, I figured what we were gonna get from the beginning of the show to the end was this. They showed Darth Vader getting assembled, everything being put on him, his mask, his helmet, and everything. Cool, awesome, yeah, great. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that he was sitting in his chair and talking to.
And I love when he says, "I know what you're after, third system." Like, oh, he said it. Like he said it. Like, oh,
I figured that much. Okay, we're gonna get that. Just him talking for right now. That's pretty much what we're gonna get. And I figured maybe the Inquisitors were gonna go to the planet where Obi-Wan and Leia were at, and one of the Inquisitors were gonna confront Obi-Wan. Fuck no. Darth Vader's gonna fucking
confront him, and not only confront him, corners him, gets him into a force choke, and throws him in the damn fire. Like, come on, what are we doing? Like, oh god, like that was brutal. That was so brutal.
That was so Vader.
The imagery, like just the fact, like you see Vader like with the flames, and like his suit looks amazing. Like I can't get over it. But okay, so I mean we're geeking out about Vader. Let's not forget about the rest of the episode. Obviously we get Leia back, and she's she's so good. Like and then we get this
the little battle between Obi-Wan and the stormtroopers was really good too. I thought that was awesome when he shoots that one and falls, gets cut in half.
And then we have a surprise cameo from what people thought was Seth Rogen, but it turned out to be
Seth Rogen.
The little mole guy, the one driving the truck. It turned out to be Zach Braff.
Yeah, it was Zach Braff.
But it sounded like, didn't that sound like Seth Rogen? I thought it sounded like Seth Rogen a little bit. I thought so, but when the credits roll, it's Zach Braff. I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine. But not only that, but like we get a scene where obviously the Obi-Wan and Leia are like.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. This is like where all these actors that I'm pretty sure were fans. Growing up and fans, when the prequels came out and stuff like that, coming in and giving their little spew into the universe, just to be a part of it, even if they're not even fully in it, And
apparently, that this character, what was his name?
Freck.
Apparently, Freck was just supposed to be like a good, good character. Like there wasn't gonna, but Zach Braff was like, I think it'll be better if he's like he's a
supporter,
Empire supporter, and like, dude, come on, like
I know these guys, these are cool guys.
Yeah, and he goes, nothing.
So fellas,
he's on nothing wrong with the little order. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on.
I liked it. I actually liked it.
I like that because it showed a different side. Like it showed a different side of the universe. Of like, damn, there are really sympathizers out there. Like, and it kind of like reflects real world stuff.
Real world stuff.
So like I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that. But like you get this scene with Obi-Wan, Leia, and the stormtroopers where like obviously Leia and Obi-Wan are pretending to be somebody else, and Obi-Wan lets slip, because Leia's pretending to be someone named Luma, which she's like, oh, you're Luma, I'm whatever, and Obi-Wan, he's kind of like he's bitter. And, Leia's talking to stormtroopers, and he's all like, he goes, I think they know what they're doing, Leia. And, like, I love the little girl. She goes, like,
yeah, she's like,
yeah, she's, and the stormtrooper's like, Leia, you called her Luma. Her name was Luma. Why'd you call her
Luma?
Yeah,
Why'd you call her Leia?
And he goes, oh, that was the name of her mother. I get confused sometimes.
Like I said, it's been difficult.
Yeah, he goes, sometimes when I look at her, I see her mother. And, like, the delivery of that line, but not only that, but like the way Leia like kind of reacted to that line, she knew, and then she even asked him, she goes, I knew there was something you're hiding. She's like, you did know my mom, and she's like, no, that line, she goes, are you my real dad? And I'm just like, oh, bro, like,
yeah,
oh,
I wish,
yeah, like damn, like that is some good stuff right there. Good episode, man. I think this is probably one of the best episodes of any Star Wars show that we've gotten. I cannot wait for more. So what I'm speculating is and I want to get this point across before you introduce your new beer, is that obviously in this episode, Darth Vader throws Obi-Wan in the fire, kind of like burns him up a little bit. Force pushes him back out. He gets saved. He gets saved by the chick from Game of Thrones. Did you know that? She was Game of Thrones? Yeah,
she was
she's
awesome. The mom of those 3 sisters.
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
Pablo. Yeah, it was his wife, right? Yeah.
His sister.
His sister. Yeah. Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of
Viper.
Cool. All right, guys. So for the last one that I got here for this episode is Puro Piña y Chimoy. This one comes from here in San Antonio from Freetail Brewing. Eddie got this one a while back. He said he didn't really care for it too much.
It's fine.
He was like, I can have like 1 or 2, and that's good. I drank the rest of it. I thought these were amazing. I really, really loved them, especially if you actually use the Lucas and Chamoy from
Alamo Candy Co.
Alamo Candy Co. And if you go to our Instagram, I did make a post about it, and
I think they responded.
They responded saying that they for the Chamoy part in this, they actually use the Chamoy from Alamo Candy Co.
So and again, I mean, you got to shout out to that can. Look at that can.
Yeah.
Show them the pineapple. I mean, come on.
I think this is probably one of the episodes where all the cans were freaking amazing.
Yeah, knock them out of the park. So obviously, we get,
and then just real quick, all these beers that we're drinking are really good summer beers. I mean,
yeah,
they're really good, refreshing, especially if you dress them up with the chamoy and stuff like that too. Oh my God.
Dude, this one's sneaking up on me right now. God damn. Yeah, good beers, excellent. Check them out. But back to Obi-Wan. They say they save him at the end. He gets away. So I assume maybe he's gonna be in the next episode, maybe like getting healed in a back to tank, whatever, like kind of like Boba Fett a little bit. Maybe we might get a flash. Maybe that's when we get our flashbacks. Maybe next episode is when we get our flashbacks. I mean, come on, like, why would you bring back Hayden Christensen and not do a flashback, not do a scene where it's a flashback of him as Anakin talking to Obi-Wan, Like I just imagine like that's why you bring him back. Because if you're gonna bring him back, just put him in the suit, then like what's the point of that? Or bring him back and have him just like a little vision where he just kind of turns and I want to see him be Anakin again. So I'm really hoping next episode like we get some like flashbacks.
It'd be nice to show him like a battle scene flashback. Where they're battling in the Clone Wars. And
or like just like
against the droids and something, and showing some clone troopers with them. Oh, it would be so awesome if they bring like Rex out, a live version of Rex. Oh, that would be so badass.
And speaking of which, no wait, that was episode 2 is when we got Tamara Morrison. Actually that was the first. I think he even said that was the first time he's ever worn like the clone trooper like armor. So he's never worn it. Like that was pretty cool. Yeah, man. I mean, like this is. If we get like a scene of them two together, like this is like I said, like I remember last episode, I'm like I'm gonna cry. Like if we get that, I'm gonna cry. Like I'm gonna cry. Like it's just I really hope that's what we get. Is there anything that you might be looking forward to, or that you hope that we might be getting in the next episode, or maybe because we only have 3 more left.
3 more left. My kind of fan theory is now that Obi-Wan knows Anakin is back, knows how powerful he is. Maybe again we might get a flashback to where it may be actually Obi-Wan doing the flashback and remembering his Padawan Anakin, and that's how Obi-Wan finds himself again to become Force sensitive again, to be one with the Force again, we're
also still waiting for that Qui-Gon Jinn, Qui-Gon to come back. I mean, he's gonna come back. Come on.
Definitely, I think within the next 2 episodes, we're also gonna possibly see what's going on with third sister, Reva.
Yeah.
See what's going on, what's up with her character.
There is one kind of like not major actor, but
would really like to see if they bring. We got not a cameo, but we got a mention of him. What was his name?
Quinlan Vos.
Yes, I would love to get a live action of that.
If you really don't know Quinlan Vos, I think he was in the book I think called Dark Disciple, and he was also briefly in the Clone Wars. He is the definition of like a great Jedi. Like he was never like really for the the obviously the light side, but he also kind of dabbled in the dark side. He kind of looks like kind of like an Indian type of like a warrior. Like I don't know how to explain.
He wears war paint.
Yeah, war paint. Yeah, exactly. I don't know much about the character. I mean, that's all I know. But from what I hear, he's really good. But like, I knew so much. I knew enough to the point where Obi-Wan's all like, Quinlan was here. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Like, did he just name drop Quinlan Vos? Like, I'm just like, that's fucking cool. Like, and of course, again, like, I watch a lot of reaction videos. So when that part happened, everybody's like, oh, Quinlan Vos. Like, Quinlan Vos. I don't think he's going to show up in the show. I don't think he's going to show up in the show. I think that little name drop was just enough to tell you that he is out there. Another thing that we did get in the show that people are like kind of up in arms about is we got a little bit of backstory behind Obi-Wan that he might have a brother out there. And he says that he goes.
Oh yeah.
He was like,
I remember when I was
a little. He goes, I remember I remember my mom, I remember my dad. He goes, I remember there being a baby. I think I had a brother.
I'm
like, oh,
but then
shit.
But then when I got to the Jedi Temple, I had my other.
Yeah, you're the other family. They're the jokes online about his brother. They're like, oh, is it Broby-1 or is it Obi-2? I'm like, shut up. Come on. Stupid.
Obi-Twang.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. It was such a good episode. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more we could say about it. I'm really excited for this week. And again, I know we talked about earlier how like Stranger Things kind of drops everything all at once. As much as I would love to watch Obi-Wan all at once, I'm glad that they do this week to week thing because it gives people like us chances.
I think Netflix is the only one that does the all at once. So okay, one thing I did notice though too, HBO Max does do that, but with some of their shows, I think they only do it with shows they feel like oh, there's not so much hype on this one show, so we're just gonna throw them on there. Mm-hmm. But then for other stuff, like there's this big hype for these shows, we're gonna do these week to week.
Yeah, or even like Amazon when The Boys first came out, they dropped it all at once.
The first season, and then after that,
second season, like for instance, like right now, season 3 just came out. They dropped the first 3 episodes. After that, I think every Friday is a new episode. So.
And they did that with season 2. I think they did the first 2 or 3 episodes as well, and then after that, it was every whatever day that they decided on.
Yeah. So I mean, again, like I'm excited for this week. For the next Obi-Wan show, it gives us another week of just talking and just geeking out about this shit because this is what it's about.
And yeah, like I said, this is what it's about. Again, too, it's also, we love drinking the beers as well. So that's another thing we're going to be working on again is meeting up with some breweries and going to hang out with them and geek out with them as well again. Been getting in contact with a few of them. So hopefully, pretty soon we'll be paying a visit there and doing some episodes with them and see how everything goes with that,
Yeah. And this episode was a pretty much a real short notice impromptu episode. And Steven's watching TV. I'm like, you watch an episode? He's like, I'm gonna go to the store. And so yeah, I mean, this is real last minute, but I'm glad we did it. I really wanted to get this, Obi-Wan. I want to get it out. So I'm glad we did it. But I mean, other than that, man, I think I'm good. With the exception of a couple of like music stuff. I mean, Post Malone album came out pretty good. Scaring Kids album came out, which is all right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to get into dance stuff.
I am looking forward to their new album, but yeah, there's been some stuff with Dance Gavin, some controversy with Dance Gavin Dance, but that'll probably be a conversation for another time. So,
gotta get Ernie on here to talk about that.
Yeah. Which hopefully by the next episode, maybe we're gonna have a
we might have a full table next episode.
Full
table. So you guys stay tuned for the next episode. But yeah, man, I think I'm done. If you're done, again, guys, these beers are like Steven said, the perfect summer beers. We got the Three Dragons, which is a dragon fruit sour with strawberries and blueberries from Martin House Brewing Co. We got the
Piña y Chamoy.
Yeah, Piña Chamoy from Freetail, and then we got the Mango Fresca from Four Corners Brewery. Again, I know you can find these two in the stores. The Three Dragons is only available at Martin House Brewing Company in Fort Worth, Texas. So if you're in the area, check it out and send your pictures and tag us in it. We want to thank everybody for watching, listening, wherever you're. I mean, come on, like let's do it. Let's get this thing rolling. If you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. That's where we're. That is where we're at. That's where we're at. Instagram. If you listen to us on audio, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, go subscribe to Spotify. Come on, let's just do it. So, yeah, I'm excited for Obi-Wan.
Excited for a lot of stuff. Excited for a lot everything that's been announced that's gonna start coming out pretty soon.
Yep.
So, super excited for Bad Batch season 2. That's the one I'm really excited for.
Oh yeah. We talked about that.
We mentioned it.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a Wookiee Jedi coming out in the Bad Batch season 2. I forgot his name.
In the trailer. I forgot the name too, but yeah.
I was like, what? That's cool. It's good to see Omega though. I can't wait to see the live action bow and arrow. But yeah, man. So that's it. I mean, shoot. I'm ready to go.
Let's go. Let's do this.
All right, guys. Y'all stay safe. Stay cool, and drink your beers. So we'll see y'all later. Cheers.
Cheers.